So in this tutorial, I'm going to give you a quick rundown on how to use these template files that I've built out for the Chinook and Pacific Center. Hopefully it's pretty straightforward and this one tutorial should suffice for both, but if you ever have any questions about this, feel free to reach out. So to start off, first thing you want to do is you'll want to download the After Effects files and the preset EPR files from the description below. I'll make sure to link them. Once we have those, we can open up the template file. For this, we're just going to use the Chinook Center's template, slightly more complex than Pacific Center, but even then, just slightly. It's just there's two screens instead of one. So here is the main composition. We can see this is a Chinook Center one file delivery template found under this folder. So that's our main composition. I've used two different pre-compositions inside of it, which are for the north fascia and the south fascia, so each of the different screens. So you can see how they kind of relate. Where the colors change, that's where the screen gets split to fit it all on one display. And as we update the north fascia pre-composition and south fascia pre-composition, that updates our main composition, and then we export it, and that's how our template works. So give you a quick breakdown as to like the panels inside After Effects if you're not familiar. So over here on the left side, we have our project panel. In here we have all of our assets, we have our compositions, and we have our pre-compositions. If we ever wanted, like say if we lost one of these, one of them was closed, we just have to double click it to open it back up. And then, so that'll add it to our like timeline and composition like layer preview panel, which is down on the bottom. So you'll see the timeline here, and you'll see like each layer in each composition. So these like blue solids are what makes this up. And then in our main composition, it's made up of the pre-compositions. The layers work in order. So it's like if I want something to display over top of these blue solids, I need to make sure that it's layered on top of the solids in the composition. And I'll show that when we add some assets to this, which we can do right now. So easiest way to do it is just drag and drop. So I'm just going to take some of the assets we had worked on. So we're going to throw that in the assets folder. And I'm also going to do a static as well, just so we can see how to do a static and a video version of this, because they are slightly different. So now we just want to drag these to the appropriate screen. So the easiest way to do that is to just look for the pixel dimensions. So this is 3504, this is 3504, so I know I can just drag it in here and it fits. You'll see as I'm dragging, there's like a blue bar down here which indicates where it's going to be placed. You want to make sure you're on top of the stripes. If they don't have the pixel dimensions in the name, another place you can look is at the top of the project panel. So here we can see 3504 pixels as well, so we know that this is going in here as well. Do the same thing for the other one. We got 3360 going into 3360 and 3360. So we drag those in. Now the top layer in each is being displayed. This is our video file. If we look back in our main composition, it is good to go. Now one thing you do want to keep in mind, right now the template is set up with the main composition at 10 seconds and the videos we need to output are at 10 seconds, so it's a match, so we're good. But if you ever needed to change the video length to say 15 seconds, or you needed to reduce it to 5 seconds, how we would do that is we can right click on our main template here and go into composition settings, and then we can change our duration here. So if I wanted it to be 15 seconds, I change it to 15. notice you still only see 10 seconds of playback, so you might want to, or you might have to just open this up to zoom out on the timeline. But that's only if you need to do it. And again, you can get the information on the length of the video if you don't already know it by just clicking on it in the projects panel and seeing up at top 10 seconds. So to get back, I could just undo, or I can go back into composition settings and change this to 10 seconds. And that's what we want. So now we're going to look at exporting this. So I can go composition, add to Adobe Media Encoder Queue. This is where our preset's going to come into play. So have those EPR files ready. If you're not familiar with Adobe Media Encoder, this is our render queue, and this is our preset browser. If you ever need to, if these aren't on your screen and you need to find them, you can go under Window and you can make sure to add them here. To import our presets that I had you download, you're just going to click on this icon here in the preset browser. It'll open it up, then you want to find your EPR file, open it in here. I already have one in here, so I'm just going to use the one I already had. To apply that preset to your render queue, you just want to click, drag, and drop it on this middle hyperlink here. And now if I click it, you'll see all of the presets are loaded. This is just a way you can double check if you feel you need to, but all of our presets are loaded. We're ready to rock and roll. All we need to do is define our file destination and our name, which I'll just go for the desktop, and I'll keep the name as it is. Hit save and start queue with this little play button, and we'll have our render. Just a note, don't choose a save file destination that is in Citrix or in our share file. I find like 99 times out of 100 it just doesn't work. It'll say it finished rendering, but the file's nowhere to be found. That's why I usually just save to my desktop and then transfer to whatever file that I want to. So if I take a look at my desktop, I have my file here. We got our 10-second video. Going back, we'll take a look at how we can do this for static. So we just want to make sure our static file is visible. So right now I'm just hiding the file above. So that's ready to go. I don't need to worry about a timeline for statics. I just need to render the frame as is. So here we're going to go composition, save frame as, and file. Here we can choose our save destination. Again, I'm just going to go desktop. I'm going to leave the name as it is. You have the option to change it again by clicking here. But I want to make sure we are set to, so we don't want a Photoshop file. We want either a JPEG or a PNG. So click Photoshop, format. We want to change this to either JPEG sequence or PNG sequence. And I don't know how much it matters. Like with a PNG, if you want there to be transparency, choose RGB plus alpha. If there doesn't need to be any transparency, it can just be RGB. And with JPEG, you don't really have a choice because there's no transparency in it. I don't know. The ones I delivered were transparent, so I'm just going to stick with that for now. Do as you will. So I'm going PNG sequence, RGB plus alpha. Okay. File destination's already set. I just hit render. I can go check my desktop, and we have our two files. Just a note for the Pacific Center, it's going to be the same thing, except there's only like one pre-composition to update. But otherwise it works the exact same way. Another differentiation is it has its own preset. So make sure you're using the Chinook Center Media Encoder preset for the Chinook Center, and make sure you're using the Pacific Center for the Pacific Center, because as you can see here, the dimensions are different between the two, but you already know that. You guys set them up. Thanks for listening. Again, if you have any questions, just reach out. I'm here. All right, bye.